Hey, this is Kevin Smith, and you're watching Class Act Sports.
This is Victor Green with Class Act Sports. We're here with three-time Super Bowl winner Kevin Smith, 92, 93, and 96 Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. We're actually here in Dallas right now, Pittsburgh, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl. Kelvin, in your hometown, Dallas, the stadium that you played in for a long time, what do you think about this game, man?
I mean, I really think it's a big game. Of course, I grew up a Steelers fan. A lot of people don't know that. But it's tough to pull for the Steelers. You know, they got about, what do they have? They got 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
so they got one more than the Cowboys right now. And for them to win that 7th Super Bowl in our stadium would be kind of disastrous. But no, I'm actually pulling for Green Bay. I think Green Bay has played some real good ball this year, man. They played well in the playoffs. So, you know, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game. Both teams well coached, and both teams really did what they had to do to get into the Super Bowl this year.
What about the fans here? You know, you got a new stadium. They're expecting over 100,000 fans here. What other city and the fans are saying here in Dallas?
Well, I mean, you got 2 football teams from 2 football cities, Green Bay and Pittsburgh, 2 working class cities. You know, there's nothing else in Green Bay but the Green Bay Packers. In Pittsburgh, there's nothing else but the Pittsburgh Steelers. And most of the people are hardworking people that really love their team, that support their team. And, you know, you say the Dallas Cowboys, you say San Francisco, you say Pittsburgh. I have to say New York Jets because you played for the Jets. But, I mean, I was hoping for the Jets to get there. But in Green Bay, you know, when you talk football, you have to put the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. So I think it's 2 great football teams in a great football city.
You was in 3 Super Bowls. What are these teams, especially the Green Bay Packers, who haven't been here in a while, what are these teams going through right now, especially Green Bay? What are these young players feeling, and what do they need to do to get prepared for this game on Sunday?
Well, the one thing that we always concentrate on was just doing the same things that we did throughout the season. You have a lot of hoopla, but you have to let your leaders be the leaders, and the younger guys have to truly follow the leaders. And unlike Atlanta did that year, they went to the Super Bowl. You have to let the leaders be the leaders and understand that you don't want to just get here and play the game and lose. Right. So right now it's important to have that same work week that you had in practice. You have a little extra media, you have a few more cameras, but ultimately the leadership is what's going to win the game.
You got a rookie in Teron Williams that playing out in the corner. You played corner. You went to the Super Bowl in '92 at a young age in the league. What is that guy going to be feeling right now when the light goes on Sunday?
Well, I mean, for me, and I think even, you know, I can't speak for him, a young guy, he's been playing well in the playoffs. You really don't understand it until it's not happening. Right. So Darren Woodson and myself, you know, after the first Super Bowl, and I think Darren Woodson, one of his all-time memories, and even one of my all-time memories, is when we walked in the locker room out at the Rose Bowl, and we saw guys like Jim Jeffcoat, that was 14 years in the league, Bill Bates, that was 13, 14 years in the league. Those guys had endured the 1-15, 2-14, had never seen a Super Bowl. Right. To us, it was like another day. Right. We didn't really know how good we were. So for those first 3 or 4 years, it was Super Bowl, NFC Championship games. So after that, when we started going through our struggles, we were like, hey, man, what does it really feel like to get back to that Super Bowl? So you have to value every moment. It's only one moment in time, and if you never felt it, then you really don't know what it feels like. But you can't take it for granted, and I think I did, even as a young kid. But he's probably at that state. He doesn't know. He probably expects to win every game that he plays. But yet still, I think he'll play well. He knows he's a key part to what they do, and don't be surprised if he makes 2 or 3 plays that decide the game.
You mentioned that. What is it going to take? You got 2 offense that can score points. You got 2 defense that's capable of stopping every down. What is it going to take for Pittsburgh or Green Bay to win this football game?
Well, Victor, you know better than me. You play a lot of football. The team that wins the turnover battle and the team that wins special teams is more than likely going to win that game. Right. You know, and you know that. I mean, and that's what any coach that plays the game is going to tell you. Whoever wins the turnover battle, whoever wins the special teams, more than likely will win the game. Right. And it may take, it's 1 or 2 plays to decide the game. You know that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've been out of the game for a few years now. I know you got a lot of charity things going on. What are you doing now? Let the fans know what Kevin Smith is doing right now.
Well, my foundation is called Finding Hope, and what I try to do is reach out to underprivileged kids inner city kids that that has that inner struggle. One of the big events that I'm doing here in Dallas, we're hosting a teen party. So we're hosting 14 to 18-year-old. Parents are invited. We're doing it down at downtown, a place called CERT Pacific. I don't know the address exactly, but we're inviting all the kids out. And our special guest speaker is Michael Vick, believe it or not.
Wow.
So Mike is gonna, and when I talked to Mike, I mean that was one of the things that he really stressed, that he wanted to get the kids that could really feel his story and understand his struggle growing up. You know, when he talks about some of the things that he went through, that's true.
Right.
You know, I mean, Peyton Manning, he may not have struggled. I mean, went through some of the things that Michael Vick, but you know, they still have somewhat of, not the same story, but each message is good. Sometimes you have good messages, sometimes you have bad message, but every kid needs to hear that. But we got a great event with Michael Vick. We got the Mayor Pro Tem, school board is going to be there. We're trying to put 3,000 kids in the building and have a great night.
Talk about Michael Vick. You know, this guy been through so much, spent almost 2 years in prison, come back this year, have an unbelievable year. Talk about the type of year Mike Vick had, you know, being considered for the MVP.
I think it's truly unbelievable, and I've always pulled for the underdog, and there's no doubt the kid has talent, but you know you have to surround yourself with the right environment, and not so much the people. Your sisters are your sisters, your brothers are your brothers, but anytime you surround yourself around enough good, then it kind of rubs off on you. So people tend to follow you. If you want to hang around and do bad things and surround yourself around bad things, then you're going to attract those people, and they're going to, because Michael Vick is truly the leader of whatever he's doing, and people are going to follow and promote and push whatever. And that's why I told Mike, say, Mike, be you, surround yourself around good things, and things will happen good for you. It's Philadelphia, they reached out to him, they bought into him, they love him. He showed what he can do. He has a window. It's like we talked about the Super Bowl. When that window closes, then it closes. Victor, you know that. When that window closes, man, hey, I love what you're doing. You spreading the word. You have a voice. That's what we should all do. But it's got to be positive. You got to be around positive things.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I appreciate what Mike has done. I'm rooting for Mike, and you know, Mike continue to have great success in the NFL, and we'll appreciate you
Victor,
coming on, man.
I'm gonna say this last thing. My two Aggies, Aaron Glenn and Ray Mickens, made you look good back there, man.
I think I made them look good back there. I ran that show.
I know you did. Hey, did you play with Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones, man.
You played with three.
JG's, yeah. Well, hey, we've been on the Aggies all day, man. But this is Victor Green, going beyond the game, behind the scene, with Kelvin, three-time Super Bowl winner. And this is Victor Green. You're watching Class Act Sports.